All right, that is ready to blast off again. There is absolutely nothing holding it back. The question is not if, the only question is when. I have in front of me the daily chart for VET. After this fantastic run up that we've seen the last 72 hours, was making a video back on Wednesday talking about us needing to get through this critical area of 0.033 to 0.035. And we blasted right through it on Wednesday and have taken off. VET has increased by 40 and 50% over the last 72 hours. I'm looking at the candle today. It's a very nice looking candle. It's a doji, which means there's opening and closing about the same area with wicks toward the tops and the bottoms. Generally, when you see that at the top of a big run up candle like this, it just means that we are ready to continue on upward. There is absolutely nothing stopping VET technically from continuing to rise. If we zoom out even further on the daily, you can see everything is looking just picture perfect. There's nothing but clear skies ahead. Let's see how much we do, and we did get above this 0.05 briefly. The next thing we want to do is see a close over this 0.05 level somewhere right around here. Something like this. You can see there's some resistance toward the top, but we want to get past this level and then start aiming up for these 0.055 and 0.06 levels. I did make a video on that, I think, yesterday and drew those levels live for us. And it's an art, not a science. But if I zoom out, you can see this 0.055 level is the bottom of this wick back here in July of 21. It also, the market reacted around this area twice in February of 21. So that's why I drew that level. And then the next level drawn up here around 0.062 is the tops of these wicks here, the top of that wick, roughly the bottom of this wick. I don't know if y'all can see that, but these a weekly chart that I'm on here. So again, the top of this wick, so forth and so on. But the fact of the matter is there's nothing holding VET back. And as you can see, once VET decides to go, or any of these altcoins decide to go, these levels, they are absolutely respected, but they will be blown through in the short term. They will absolutely just go right through these levels, and then they'll eventually reach one where they rest at. But the thing about technical analysis is what I'm showing you now while we're looking at the price action on a chart. The thing about technical analysis is that fundamental analysis will always override it. Fundamental reasons will always override it. And when we are in a market like we are now with Bitcoin pushing up seemingly every single day, these altcoins are going to just start rising. And it's kind of like this is how I've been saying it. If you are in a strong coin, and VET is a pretty strong coin, and what I mean by that is it's a good project. We're not talking a terrible crap coin. We're talking a big coin that's got good market cap size like VET and is part of a good project. If you're sitting on something like that, you're basically on this rotating conveyor belt that rotates through, and at any point this Bitcoin money, this crypto money can come into your altcoin and absolutely explode. And that is what happened with VET. It just happened to get picked up over the last few days. I don't know why. I don't know exactly why VET was chosen, but I'm happy that it was, because I am a holder of VET and I could not be more excited about what we have seen here. Now, everything that is going to happen in VET for the next few weeks and months is, of course, based on what Bitcoin is going to do. We're still seeing millions, hundreds of millions of dollars a day going into these Bitcoin ETFs that were approved back in January, and that's why we're seeing this fantastic rise. Let's talk about Bitcoin for a minute. I'll keep it brief, but I'm going to mention it because it does absolutely affect altcoins and VET. We have the halving coming up in the next 2 months. Here is the date of rough estimate for the date for the halving, sometime mid-April. I think this is the 15th through the 20th. There is two strains of thought as far as how the price will react up to the halving. Historically, prices had a run up, which we have seen, and kind of ran up. And then about a few weeks before the halving, there was anywhere between a 20 to 40% drop, and we would fall, consolidate, and then carry on post halving. Okay, so some people are looking at the historical way Bitcoin has reacted before the halving in the last several instances of halving, and are expecting anywhere, probably not, certainly not a 40% drop. Things are looking too good for that, but saying anywhere from a 10 to 20% drop before the halving, which at this price we're at now for 52,000 would put us between 40 and 45,000. Nothing to be worried about, nothing to be scared about. It could happen. And then there's this. Let's see, which tweet did I want to look at first? Here, Lark Davis is someone I follow on Twitter. This is what he says. We have 60 days to the Bitcoin halving, 90 days to the first Hong Kong Bitcoin ETF, which is other countries starting their own Bitcoin ETFs, which was going to drive more institutional and retail investments into Bitcoin. 98 days to a potential Ethereum ETF approval here in the States, and 264 days to the presidential election. No one is bullish enough. Okay, so there's so many good things happening in crypto right now. People are saying you can't be bullish enough. Here's another reason why. From Milk Road, if you don't follow Milk Road, do follow Milk Road. They also have a newsletter you can subscribe to. It's free. Do follow that. And they say, here's why Bitcoin's rally is just getting started. Look at the inflows we are seeing every single day. This one's hard to see. Let me see if I can blow it up a little bit. See, it took me, okay, it took me to their newsletter, and it's wanting me to subscribe. I'm already subscribed. Let's see if I can make this. Okay, we're kind of going in a loop. So the point here, these are the inflows coming into the Bitcoin ETFs every single day. Here's the last 4 days, okay? 405 million, 542 million, 493, so on. Over $2 billion coming into the ETFs for Bitcoin. One more that's very interesting. Let me see if I can find it. Yep. BlackRock's Bitcoin holdings. The beginning of the year, zero Bitcoin, Bitcoin, February 15th, 115, almost 116,000 Bitcoins worth $6 billion. Institutional money is pouring into Bitcoin. So some are saying, forget this, pre-halving fall, Bitcoin is going to keep rising because of all the money that is flowing into Bitcoin. It's strictly a matter of supply and demand, and that we should not be seeing any kind of pull down anytime soon. You know what? Again, it goes back to what I said with VET. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Bitcoin's going to continue going up. VET's going to continue going up. It's just a matter of when. If Bitcoin does tend to pull back a little bit, we might see a pullback here, something like this, back down to this critical level. Do not be frightened if that happens. Do not be scared if that happens. That's perfectly fine. It's just fine. Look, this is what we've had the last few days. We might expect some pullback here. This is what crypto might do. It could do that, or I might make my next video in 3 days and see us up here around up in the 6.06. Who knows? The good thing I'm trying to get across here, it is going up. The VET is going up. How high? People are making all kinds of estimates, and they're saying, oh, $1 for VET, $1 for VET, $1 for VET. I've also seen people saying, no, not $1 for VET. That's just a little bit too exaggerated. I mean, what was the all-time high for VET? We're talking about 0.028 roughly. So $1 for VET is going to be way up here, whereas this is the high. I'm not saying it can't happen, be 4 times higher than the previous all-time high. But some that I trust more conservatively are supposing sometime in 2025, we might get between this 0.04 and 0.05 level, which to me seems more reasonable. 0.4 to 0.5 level. Don't hold me to that. Nobody knows. We're all guessing. We're all hypothesizing, if that's a word. But the fact of the matter is, if you are in vet, or even if you got into vet today, I really think you're going to be happy with any kind of results you're going to get out of 2024 and 25, because I just see vet continuing to go higher and higher and higher, and then once again, maybe even higher. I love vet. I'm in it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned. We'll watch the vet price together.